Hello friends, welcome back. Now as we have finished all the chapters of algebra, now the last part which is remaining is HOTS. Now what are the HOTS? The HOTS is nothing but the problems for developing high order thinking skill. In all exercises of algebra, the problems you have solved were quite straightforward, right? HOTS are nothing but somewhat difficult problems. Now these problems are not difficult if you are able to solve all the problems from all the exercises properly. If you have understood the definitions, if you understood all the methods, they are not very difficult. But the problem is, whenever the HOTS are there, whenever the students starts learning for HOTS, they initially think that these are very difficult problems and I will not able to solve it. In that case, if before starting if you say that these are difficult and I will not able to solve, then you will never able to solve. Now let us see some of these problems, and then you will understand that these problems are not very difficult problem, but these are somewhat tricky problems. Okay, these are not directly substitution of formula or not a direct method. Let us solve some of the problems from your textbook. The first problem is, if the sum of first p terms of an AP, that is sum of first p terms of an AP is equal to sum of first q terms. Sum of first q terms. Now what they are asked? Show that the sum of its first p plus q terms is 0. The sum of p plus q is 0. Now in this case, no figures are given. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, no digits are given. These are somewhat hypothetical problem. How you will solve it? Now again I am telling you, in case of HOTS also, we are going to just discuss the problems and at last you are going to solve the problem, right? So how you will solve this? You know the formula for sum of particular terms in AP. What is the formula? You know this formula. How will you find out? SP, just substitute P for N, right? How you can find out SQ? Substitute Q for N. Now we know that SP is equal to SQ. Now let us solve what have been given. That is, we will substitute P first for SP. So we have P upon 2, 2A plus P minus 1 D is equal to Q upon 2, 2A plus Q minus 1 D. Okay. Now after solving this, you will get some equation. Equate it to 0. Take everything to the left hand side. For example, you can easily solve this. These two will go. There will be P upon Q. Then you solve this. After solving, you will get some equation equating to 0. Now I am not going to solve this. You are going to solve it. Okay. After solving all this, you will get one equation equating to 0. That equation is 2A plus P plus Q minus 1 into D equal to 0. When you solve these two sides, that is, first of all these two will go, then P2A plus PD minus D, and similarly here you will get this equation. Okay. Now we have to find out this. We have to show that S P plus Q equal to 0. So now instead of N, we have to substitute P plus Q, right? Let us do that. So we have so after substituting, we get this for right. Now we'll solve this. Can you see here? 2a p plus q minus 1 into d. That means this figure we have already found out is equal to 0. Right? So ultimately I have p plus q upon 2 into 0. And multiplying 0, my answer is 0. So you see that this problem was not difficult, it was little bit tricky one. Okay, so we have proved it that SP plus Q equal to 0. In this way you have to solve the problems in the HOTS. Now these problems in the HOT are generally for 5 marks, in your final exam. Don't skip this, otherwise you will unnecessarily lose 5 marks. Unless and until you will be able to solve this HOTS, you will not get full marks in algebra paper or in geometry paper also, in maths. You have to solve this. Just remember one thing, generally, this is not 100%, but generally the problems you face in the exam are mostly from your textbooks. Okay, so I suggest there are some 30 or 33 examples are there in problems are there in textbooks. Thoroughly solve those problems. Don't just by heart the problems. Okay, just understand what they are asked, just understand what concept you can apply and then solve this. So these problems are not difficult. Okay, now let's solve the second problem. In this example they are asked how many 2-digit numbers leave the remainder 1 when divided by 5. We want 2-digit numbers leave the remainder 1 when divided by 5. This is very simple example if you think it properly. Let me show you how to do this. First of all, we want 2-digit numbers. So tell me what is the first 2-digit number which can be divided by 5. That is 10. This is the first 2-digit number. Which is the last 2-digit number which can be divided by 5? Is 95. Right? This is the first number, this is the last number. Right? Now what they have asked, this after division, this division should leave remainder 1, which is the first 2-digit number which when you divide by 5 will leave the remainder 1. Simple, it is 11. Just next. So my first is A is equal to 11, and what will be my last number? That will be 96. So in this case my A is 11, last number is 96. That means this is nothing but Tn, isn't it? What is my D? D is 5. So now I have the formula for Tn, A plus n minus 1 into D. Now as you see, I know A, I know D, I know Tn. Easily I can find out n. So these n is the number of digits which can be divided by 5 and will give you the remainder 1. I am leaving this to you. The answer for this, n is equal to 18. Just pause your video and solve this sum. I am not going to solve this simple step for you, right? Solve it. Let us solve third example. Again, this example little bit tricky but simple one. How many terms of the AP they are given 16, 14, 12 and so on are needed to give the sum 60. So we want Sn is equal to 60. Now here let us write down what we know. We have A is equal to 16 and D is equal to minus 2. Since this AP is in descending order, the D is minus 2, Sn is 60, A is 16. Now let us read further. Explain why do we get true answers. Now first of all we'll find out how many terms are required. So we know Sn is equal to n upon 2 Now if I substitute A, D and Sn I know, A I know, D I know, I will get the answer n. So now pause your video here and find the value of n. The value of n is 12 and 5. That means n is either 12 or 5. Now they are asked why do we get the two values. It is possible to get two values because this AP is in a descending order. So if you check for 5, I have 10 and 8. These are the 5 terms which gives me the sum 60. As I go on up to 12 digits or up to 12 numbers, what will happen? This sum will go into the negative, that is 6, 4, 2, 0, then minus 2, minus 4, minus 6, 12 digits. Now as it is going into the negative, this will straight away get cancelled. And it is nothing but as well as this next 7 terms sums up to 0. And so we have n equal to 12 and n equal to 5. If it is not descending, then you might have got only n equal to only one figure you might have got. But in this case, since it is descending, you have got 2 figures for n. Simple example, let us go ahead. They have given if the 9th term of an AP is 0, that means T9 is equal to 0. Prove that the 29th term is double the 19th term. 29th term is double the 19th term. Very easy, right? We know the formula for Tn. For this AP, the first term is A and difference is D. We know that the 9th term is 0. So we have A plus 9 minus 1, 8. 8D is equal to 0. So A is equal to minus 8D. So let us solve this now. We have got A is equal to minus 8D. So now we will first find out T29, then we will find out T19, and let us see if T29 is double of T19 or not. Okay. So first T29, I'll substitute here. A plus 29 minus 1, 28D. But A is equal to 8D minus 8D. So minus 8D plus 28D. So T29 I have got 20D. Right? Now I'll find out T19. A a plus 19 minus 1 is 18, but a is equal to minus 8d plus 18d, so I have 10d. So T29 is 20d and T19 is 10d. So if you multiply T19 by 2, you will get T29. It is as simple, right? Let us move ahead. If m times mth term of AP, if m times mth term of an AP, means it is tongue twisting to read, but it is very easy. So m times mth term, m into Tm of an AP is equal to nth time its nth term. It is equal to n time its nth term. Though it is difficult to read or pronounce, it is very easy. It is nothing but m into Tm equal to n into Tn. Then show that m plus nth term of AP is 0. Then we have to show that T m plus n equal to 0. Okay, this is very simple. This is just like we have solved the first example. How you will do this? What is Tn is equal to? Tn is a plus n minus 1d. So what will be? So left hand side is Tm, so a plus m minus 1 into d into n into a plus n minus 1 into d, right? After solving this, you will get one equation, just like we got in the first example. And then when you solve for this, that is, what is T m plus n is equal to a plus m plus n minus 1 into d. So after solving this, you will get this equal to 0, and hence it is proved that T m plus nth term is equal to 0. Pause your video here and solve this example. First solve this and you will get a plus m plus n minus 1 into d equal to 0. Now you have to just substitute it here and it is proved. Very simple. Pause your video here and solve this example. If the roots of the quadratic equation ax square plus cx plus c equal to 0, quadratic equation given is ax square plus cx plus c equal to 0 are in the ratio p is to q. We know that the roots of the quadratic equation are alpha and beta. So alpha upon beta is equal to p upon q. Then they say that show that p upon q plus q upon p plus c upon a is equal to 0, where a and c are real numbers such that a is greater than 0 and c is not equal to 0. This is very simple. They are trying to fool you by this c. Okay? Coefficient of x by the definition is b, and here b is c. We know that alpha plus beta is equal to minus b upon a, and alpha beta is equal to c upon a. Now here b is c, so I have minus c upon a, and here c upon a. You know that p upon q is alpha upon beta, p upon q, so I can write it here. We have to prove this equal to 0, right? So what we can do? We can go on solving this. For the longer calculation, I will not write c upon a first. I will just solve these two terms first. Okay? So how will we solve first two terms? Addition of first two terms. It is under root p upon q is alpha upon beta plus under root beta upon alpha. So we can do cross multiplication. So what we have? Alpha plus beta upon root alpha beta. Right? What is alpha plus beta? Alpha plus beta we have minus C upon A into what is alpha beta is C upon A. So here we'll have A upon C. Now when you will solve this, we will have root C upon root A minus. So we'll put it here. So plus we have under root C upon A, so equal to 0. So actually this sum is very simple. They are just trying to create an illusion. Okay, they are trying to fool you. Many students, first of all, they will read this equation as a square plus ax square plus bx plus c. They will not mark this, and example is wrong. If you take b here, then your example is wrong completely. So always underline the important given terms in any problem. Okay, because when I solved this problem for you for the first time, I too committed the same mistake. I wrote this on the board as a ax square plus bx plus c. If I am writing, then many of you will write also, right? So please take care that read the problem carefully. Okay, this is the only tricky thing in this example. So shall we move ahead? Now in this case they are asked if the sum of the roots of the quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, equation is given ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. The sum of the roots of this quadratic equation means alpha plus beta, they are equal to the sum of the squares of their reciprocal, means 1 upon alpha square plus 1 upon beta square. This is given, and they ask then prove that. Very simple. First of all, remember, we know that alpha plus beta is equal to minus b upon a, alpha beta is equal to c upon a. Now as this is given, we will directly solve this and we will get this. Okay, just tricky part in this is solving this part. How you will solve this? Cross multiplication. You know that alpha plus beta is minus b upon a, and here beta square plus alpha square upon alpha square into beta square. Now in this case, beta square plus alpha square, you will not able to find a value directly. What we have to do? Alpha plus beta square minus 2 alpha beta upon alpha square beta square minus b upon a. Now on the right hand side also, you know this value alpha plus beta, you know alpha beta, also you know alpha beta means the square of alpha beta minus b upon a, substitute here, c upon a will come here and c square upon a square will be here. When you solve this, you will get this. As simple. Now please pause your video here and solve this example. Form the quadratic equation whose roots are, means alpha and beta, are the squares of the sum of the roots and square of the difference of the roots of this quadratic equation. The equation given is, this is the given quadratic equation. We want to find a quadratic equation whose roots are, the first root is square of the roots and second is difference of the roots. Okay. Now in this case, we have to find a is equal to 2, b is equal to 2m plus n and c is equal to m square plus n square. Now first let us find out alpha plus beta and alpha beta. Why we have to find this? Because it is very simple. We know that x square minus sum of the roots into x plus product of the root equal to 0. Form the quadratic equation x square plus sum of the root into x plus product of the root equal to 0. Now we have to find a sum of the root and product of the root. You know that sum of the root is minus b upon a and this is c upon a. Alpha plus beta is equal to minus b upon a, so minus 2 m plus n upon 2. Alpha beta is this, and hence you can form the quadratic equation. Now we have to pay attention to what is given. They say that the roots of the required equation, means whatever equations we have to find out, are product of the sum of the roots of this equation. That is, one root is alpha plus beta square and another root is alpha minus beta square. Now the roots of the quadratic equation are this. So we can find out first alpha into beta. So here we will find out first alpha plus beta. Now in this equation, what will be alpha plus beta? Minus b upon a. So it is nothing but minus 2 into m plus 1 upon 2. So equal minus m plus n. And what is this? M square plus n square upon 2. Okay. Now in this case, sum of the root is, as we want a sum of the root, is alpha plus beta square plus alpha minus beta square, and you know that this will give you alpha square plus 2 alpha beta plus beta square plus alpha square minus 2 alpha beta plus beta square. This will get cancelled, so I will get 2 alpha square plus beta square. 2 alpha square plus 2 beta square. We know that you cannot find the value of this. So what we should have? 2 alpha plus beta square minus 2 alpha beta. Right? Now in this case, you know what is alpha plus beta. Minus m plus n. You know what is alpha beta. This. Right? So now you have got the sum of the roots. Similarly, you can find a product of the root, that is multiplication of these two. Okay? And then substituting in this equation, you will get the required equation. Right? So please pause your video here and solve this sum. As an answer, 4mn. So here you have x square 4mn into x, and plus if you multiply alpha into beta, the product you will get is minus, instead of plus, here you will get minus m square minus n square square equal to 0. So as a product you will get, so this is, you have alpha plus beta, or I will call as the sum, and product you will get minus m square minus n square bracket square. Okay? Product means alpha beta. You have to multiply alpha into beta, that is this term into this term. When you add sum, you will get this 4mn, and product you will get this. So the final equation, the final required equation will be x square minus sum of the roots into x plus product of the roots. So this is your required equation. Very easy. Only they are trying to make some illusions. They are making something complicated by common, that alpha beta are here, alpha beta are here also, then plus m and n are there. So don't get confused, it's just a mathematics. Don't think much, just start solving and follow what you are doing. Don't think, just start solving and follow. Write it on the paper. Okay. So here we finish this 8th sum. Let us see few more sums. Again, this is very tricky example. They're just making some equations very complicated so that you will commit some mistakes while writing down. Okay. Now in this case of the HOTS, you have to just keep in mind that do not commit any mistakes in writing. Whatever is written on the upper line must follow on the lower lines. Many students commit such mistakes that they write something different in a statement 1, something different in a statement 2. So in this case, do not commit any writing mistakes. These are the silly mistakes, and these sums are meant to do silly mistakes. Okay, they want that you should commit some silly mistake. So just don't do any writing mistakes. Now let us see what this 9th sum is. 9th sum is find a condition that the equations plus bx plus c equal to 0, and the second equation they are given a1 x square plus b1x plus c equal to 0. They are given that these two equations may have a common root. Find this common root when it exists. How you will solve this? Now here it is just a trick. Okay, forget about this a and a1. If it is 2x square plus 5x plus 6 equal to 0 and 4x square plus 3x plus 2 equal to 0, what generally you do to solve these equations, simultaneous linear equations? What you do generally? If this is not a quadratic, let us consider what you do. You multiply the first equation by the coefficient of second equation and second equation by the coefficient of first equation. If this is the first equation, this is the second equation, we will multiply first equation by a1 and second equation by a. This is third I got, and if I multiply this by a, what I'll get? Again a1 x square plus a b1 x plus ac equal to 0. Now can you see, can I subtract? So I'll get the value a1 b minus ab1x plus a1c minus ac equal to 0. Many things are common. Here x is common, so x a1b minus ab1 plus a1c minus ac equal to 0. So x will be equal to minus a1c minus ac upon a1b minus ab1. This minus sign you can just interchange this. That means you can do ac minus a1c upon a1b minus ab1. So this is the first root I got. Now secondly, what I'll do, I'll multiply this first equation by the coefficient of x, that is by b1, and multiply second equation by b, and then again I will get x. Okay, so you will get these two roots. Again I'm explaining you, you have to first we have to multiply the first equation by coefficient of x and second equation by coefficient of x of the first. So we get the value of x here. Secondly, we will multiply the first equation by b1 and second equation by b, similar in this case, and then subtract, and then you will get the value of another x. I hope you must have solved this second equation, and first value of x we have got AC1 minus A1C upon A1B minus AB1, and the second value of x is, so this is the first value, these two are the roots, common roots of this two quadratic equations. Okay, let's go ahead. Find the value of p if the equations 3x square minus 2x plus p equal to 0 and 6x square minus 17x plus 12 equal to 0 have a common root. We have to find a value of p. I don't know why this example is included in this HOTS, because this is very simple example. Okay, how will you find this? You know that if root are common, then you can first find the value of x from this equation. Very easy. You can find the value of x from here. You may get two values from here, and if these are the common roots of this equation too, that means the value of x must satisfy this equation. So substitute both the values of x in this and you will get the two values of p. One value of p for first value of x and second value of p for second value of x. Extremely simple. I am not going to solve. Please pause your video here and solve this example. Here x you will get 3 upon 2 and 4 upon 3, and when you substitute these values of x into the first equation, you will get the value of p 15 by 4 and 8 by 3 minus 15 by 4 and minus 8 by 3. These are the value of p you will get from this. Check your answer please. Very easy. So let's go to the next example. Problem number 11. Now here the half part of this problem we are already done in the seventh example. Let us see the example. If sum of the roots of the quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0 is equal to the sum of the squares of the reciprocals, then show that bc square, cs square and ab square. Just by reading this example, this is a quadratic equation, then we have to show some arithmetic progression. 90% of the student will leave this example. But this example is extremely simple. We have already solved the first part of this example in the seventh sum. That is, you remember we solved that alpha plus beta is equal to 1 upon alpha square plus 1 upon beta square. This we have already solved. And what conclusion we got from there? That is 2a square c equal to c square b plus b square a, c square b plus b square a. This was the result we got from this. We already solved in seventh example. You just refer it to that. I am not going to solve it again. Now 2a square c, that is a square c plus a square c equal to c square b plus b square a. I have to bc square. I have to just rearrange the terms. A square c minus, I'll take this, bc square is equal to ab square minus a square c. I am just taking this c square b this side and this a square c that side. Now can you see that a square c minus bc square, a square c minus bc square and ab square minus ca square. Since the difference between two consecutive terms is same, this is equal to this, these three terms are in AP. Very simple. Just you should be able to find out this. This is what the tricky part is. Okay? So just don't get confused, since quadratic equation, arithmetic progression came both into one example. This is very simple. So before going ahead, pause your video here, and though we have solved that in the example 7, I want you to solve this again to get the value of this and then solve. Okay? Don't write there. We cannot write in the exam that refer to example number 7. Okay? We have to write again. So pause your video here and solve this example now. They are given two equations. Solve the following simultaneous equations. The first is ax plus by equal to a minus b. Ax plus by equal to a minus b. And second is bx equal to ay plus a plus b. Bx equal to ay plus a plus b. First, let us write as x plus y equal to something. Okay, now here we can write bx minus ay equal to a plus b. Now this is the first equation now, and this is the second equation. Now these equations are just similar to any other simultaneous linear equation. Now how you will solve this? This is just a simultaneous linear equation like others we have solved previously. From these two equations we will get two more equations. Now you will multiply this first equation by this b, and you will multiply the second equation by a, and so you will get two more equations, subtract it, and you will get the value of y. Why? Because these two will first term will get cancelled. When you subtract, we will get the value of y. Substitute that value of y in any of the equation and you will get the value of x. So I am not going to solve this. Pause your video here and solve these equations. This is very simple. Again I am telling you, I am not solving this because you should have practice of doing this. We have solved a number of simultaneous linear equations. This is just another kind of it. Okay, please do it. This is one more tricky example of simultaneous linear equations. Okay, they give some long equations and ask you to solve those. Now here it is given m x plus y plus n x minus y minus m square plus mn plus n square. M square plus mn plus n square equal to 0 is the first equation they are given. The second they are given n x plus y plus m x minus y minus m square minus mn plus n square equal to 0. Again very simple, just a tricky. What you will do here? I will just tell you one hint and then you will be able to solve this. Very simple. I will substitute x plus y equal to p and x minus y equal to q. So when you substitute this, these two equations will become, the first equation will become mp plus nq is equal to m square plus mn plus n square. Now this is your first equation, and the second equation will be np plus mq is equal to m square minus mn plus n square. Now first we have to find the value of p and q. How you will find the value of p and q? Very simple. Don't get confused, okay, by this long terms. Just forget them. Don't get confused by them. I will multiply this equation by n and this equation by m, coefficients. So I'll get two more equations when I subtract. I'll get the value of P. Substitute, we'll get the value of Q. But mind well, we don't want the value of P and Q. What we want? Value of X and Y, because originally we have X and Y. So when you substitute value of P and Q, you will get two more equations, isn't it? And then when you solve these two equations simultaneously, you will get the value of X and Y. So please pause your video here and solve this example. So at last you should get the answers. X is equal to m square plus n square upon m plus n, and y is equal to mn upon m minus n. Please check your answer and we'll go to next example. Let us see example number 14. Okay, the forewheel of a carriage makes 6 revolutions more than the rear wheel. Now suppose this is a carriage. Okay, let us say this is the forewheel, this is a rear wheel. Now this forewheel of a carriage makes 6 revolutions more than the rear wheel in going 120 meters. So our distance is 120 meters. If the diameter of the forewheel is increased by 1/4 of its present diameter and the diameter of the rear wheel is increased by 1/5 of its present diameter, then the forewheel makes 4 revolutions more than the rear wheel in going the same distance. The distance is same. Initially there is some diameter and some circumference. Now the circumference are increased. Now what we have to find out? Find the circumference of the each wheel of the carriage. Okay, suppose this is a wheel and this is a diameter. So if you know the diameter, you can easily find out the circumference, right? That is, we know it is 2 pi r. So once you find the circumference, you can even find out the diameter or the radius of the wheel. Now when this wheel is going on certain path, can you see in one revolution it covers a distance equal to its circumference. So in this distance you can find out how many revolutions that particular wheel has made to cover that particular distance. Similar, it is very simple, just divide the distance by circumference. Now let us see how to solve this problem. Let us consider the circumference of the forewheel is x and rear wheel is y. The circumference of the forewheel is x and circumference of the rear wheel is y. Just now I told you how to find out the number of revolutions. The number of revolutions distance upon circumference. So in this case the number of revolutions are 120 upon x and 120 upon y. This is initial. So initially the number of revolutions by rear wheel are 120 upon y and number of revolutions by forewheel are 120 upon x. Let us go ahead. By the first conditions we have 120 upon x minus 120 upon y is equal to 6. This is from first condition. I will divide this equation by 120. So I will get 1 upon x minus 1 upon y is equal to 6 by 120, that is 1 upon 20. Okay, let us go ahead. The diameter of the wheels are increased. The new diameters The diameter of the 4 wheel is increased by 1/4 of its current diameter. So consequently, circumference will also increase. So if it is increased by 1/4, the total will be 5/4. So the new circumference will be 5/4x, and in case of rear wheel it is increased by 1/5. So 1 plus 1/5 is 6/5. 6/5y. So these two are the new circumferences. With these new circumferences, the 4 wheel makes 4 revolutions more than the rear wheel in going the same distance. Now in this case, the distance is same, 120, but now instead of these 6 wheels, or instead of these 6 revolutions, difference of 6 revolution, it makes only difference of 4 revolution. So by the second condition, what we will get? Formula is same, distance upon circumference. So here it is 120 upon 5/4x and 120 upon 6/5y is equal to 4. This is from second condition. This is the new condition we have got. So let us simplify this. Let us simplify this further. This 4 will go up and ultimately we will get 96 upon x minus 100 upon y is equal to 4. So from second condition we have got this expression. From the first condition we have got this expression. Now you have two expressions. Anyway, this can be further divided. Okay, if you divide by 4 everywhere, you will get 24 upon x minus 25 upon y is equal to 1. Now we have two equations and two variables, so we can easily solve these two equations by simultaneous linear equations and find out the value of x and y. So those will be the initial circumferences of the 4 wheel and rear wheel. Once you know the circumference, now in this case they are asked to find out only circumference, but even if they are asked to find out the diameter, you can easily find out the diameter. So how you will solve this? 1 upon x is equal to a, 1 upon y is equal to b. So a minus b is equal to 1 upon 20, and 24a minus 24b is equal to 1. So pause your video here and quickly find out the answer of x and y. It's very simple. X is equal to 4 meter and y is equal to 5 meter. Check your answer and we'll go ahead. Very simple example based on graph. Draw the graph representing the equations 2x is equal to y plus 2 and 4x plus 3y is equal to 24. 4x plus 3y is equal to 24. On the same graph paper, find the area of the triangle formed by these lines and x-axis. Extremely simple. You know how to draw these two lines. Okay, consider any value. First make chart for these two separately. Consider the any values for x, find out the value of y, and hence you can draw the graph of two lines. This graph will be something like this. It may not be very perfect, but I am showing you. It will be something like this. Now they are asked to find the area of the triangle formed by these two lines and x-axis. That means we have to find this area. Extremely simple. You know that. Draw a perpendicular from here, take a perpendicular height, and the area of triangle half base into height. Very simple. But in this case, you have to draw the lines and the points very accurately. Okay, because for this there will be some tolerance, that means plus minus 5 mm or something like that. If you miss the points, this height, you will miss this height, and then what will happen? Even though you know everything, you will lose your marks. So please pause your video and solve this example. Please check your answer. The answer is area is equal to 10 square units. Now in this case, they are not given any unit in mm or cm or something, so you must write the units. The area must be with some square units. If it is mm, mm square, it is cm, cm square, and so on. But in this case, the unit is not given, so you have to write the 10 square units. Let us go ahead. The sum 16 is, when the son will be as old as his father today. Now they said today, so let us write down the ages of father and son today. Today, father is X, son is Y. The sum of their ages will be 126 when the father was as old as his son is today. Now, after X minus Y years, the son will be at the same age of his father. So what will happen after X minus 5 years? So after X minus Y years, his son age will be X, right? So after X minus Y year, his son will be of the age X. By the first condition, we get X plus X minus Y is equal to 126. What is the second condition? When the father was as old as his son is today, the sum of their ages then was 38. Okay, so X minus Y years back, his father's age was this and son's age was Y minus X minus Y. Father was Y years and son was Y minus X minus Y. Right? Y minus X minus Y means Y minus X plus Y. So 2Y plus X. So what our second condition says? The sum of their ages then was 38. By second equation we get Y plus 2Y minus X is equal to 38. Now we have got two equations and two variables. We can easily solve these two equations and find out the value of X and Y, that is the current age, the today's age of father and son. So pause your video here and quickly find out the answer of X and Y. Pause your video. The answer is, father is 52 years and son's age is 30 years. This is the today's age of father and son. Please check your answer. We'll go ahead. 17. Very simple. Find the probability of 4 turning up at least once in 2 tosses of a fair dice. I'm not going to solve this example. This is extremely simple example. First of all, you have to write the sample space. That is, you know, whenever you have the 2 dices, you will have 1 1 2, 1 6 and so on. Here you will get 6 1 2, 6 6. First of all, you have to write the sample space. After that, the given condition, then you know that your NS is equal to 36 in this case, and then the event is the 4 turns up at least one. Now here you should write down the given condition, or A will be equal to, the 4 should be at least 1. Now in this case, the first 4 will be 1 4 and so on. So find out this. So you will get NA is 11, and what they have asked, find a probability. So we have to find a PA probability. So NA upon NS is the probability, that is 11 upon 36 is the probability. Remember, your probability will be always less than 1. So either you can divide or you can just write down the probabilities. This was a very simple example. I don't know why it is included in HOTS. Okay, just keep in mind that in exam this will be for 4 to 5 marks. So don't write like this. Write full sample space, that is 1 1, 1 2, 1 3, 1 4, 1 5, 1 6, 2 1, 2 2, 2 3, 2 4, 2 5, 2 6 and so on. Okay, I have just written here because we have solved so many examples of this type. Let us go ahead. Example number 18 is, this is again probability example. What is the probability that an ordinary year has 53 Sundays? Now in an ordinary year we have 365 days, that is 52 weeks plus 1 day. So in 52 weeks and 1 day, what we have to find out? The probability that an ordinary year has a 53 Sundays. Now we already have 52 Sundays, so you don't have to consider this figure here. The tricky part is only here. You don't have to worry at all about this 52 weeks, because this 52 weeks will have 52 Sundays. Now we have to worry about this one Sunday, 1 day. Now this 1 day can be anything: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, anything. So what will be the, we will only concentrate on 1 day. So what will be your NS? 7. I am not writing the sample space here. NS will be 7. And what is your condition? This day should be Sunday. So what will be your NA? Is 1. So what is the probability? Will be NA upon NS, that is 1 upon 7. So this is the probability of getting 53 Sundays in an ordinary year. Okay, very simple. Many students gets confused in this part. Okay, don't get confused, because 52 is fixed. We have 52 Sundays. Definitely we have to only worry about the 1 day. Okay, 1 extra day. Let us go ahead. Similar example of probability like previous one, but in this case they have asked, what is the probability that a leap year has 53 Sundays? Okay, what is the difference? We have 366 days in a leap year. So 52 weeks we definitely have, and plus 2 days. Now you don't have to worry about the 52 weeks, because 52 Sundays will be there. You have to only worry about 2 days. Similarly, in this case, your NS will be 7 and now your NA is 2. So your probability of A will be now 2 upon 7. But what will be the sample space in this case? Okay, the sample space, this 7 will not be similar to previous problem. What will be the sample space here? Just for information I am telling you. Now initially it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but in this case you have 2 more days. So you will have either Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday and Sunday plus Monday. Okay, because 2 days are there. So from this we have only Sunday, Monday and Saturday, Sunday. So our NA is 2 and NS is 7. So what will be your space sample for the event A is this and this, and so your probability is 2 upon 7. The sum was very easy. Let us go ahead. There are 3 horses, A, B and C. Those are in the race. A is twice as likely to win as B, and B is twice as likely to win as C. What are their probabilities of winning? Now when we say that it is likely to win, means that is a probability. So let us consider there are 3 horses, A, B and C. So their probabilities are PA, PB and PC, right? Now let us consider probability of C is X. Let us consider this. Now B is likely to win twice as C. So I have PB is equal to 2x because PC is X. So PB is 2x, right? Now A is likely to win twice as B. So PA will be equal to P twice of PB, that is 2 into 2x, that is 4x. Now combining, as there are only 3 horses, the probability of any horse will be less than 1. But combining all, the probability will be 1. So we have, or we can say that PA plus PB plus PC is equal to 1. And now we have x, 4x plus 2x plus x, that is 4x plus 2x plus x is equal to 1. So now that is 7x equal to 1, and hence we have x is equal to 1 upon 7. But what is x? The x is a probability of C. So we can say that probability of winning horse C is 1 by 7, and probability of horse B winning is 2 upon 7, and probability of horse winning A is 4 upon 7. Very simple. So shall we move ahead to next example? Example 21. Savita and Hamida are friends. What is the probability that they both will have, first case, different birthdays, and second case, same birthdays? Now they say that ignoring the leap year. Okay. Now Savita may have the birthday of any one of the day in 365 days. Similarly, Hamida will have the birthday on any one of the day in 365 days. So now what will be the NS? NS will be equal to 365 into 365. Now let us consider the first case. The first case is different birthdays. Now what is the possibility of them having different birthdays? That possibility is 365 into 364. Okay, right? So what will be the probability? I can say that NA is equal to this. So what will be the probability? The probability will definitely be equal to Na upon Ns. So what is the probability in this case is Na upon Ns, that is 365 into 364 divided by 365 into 365. This will get cancelled. So we will have 364 upon 365. Now about the case 2. What is the probability of having same birthday? Now in this case we don't have to calculate by taking Na or Ns. The total probability will be equal to 1. So if you subtract this probability of having different birthdays from 1, you will get the probability of having birthdays on the same day. So that probability will be 1 minus 364 upon 365. By solving this, we will get, let us do the cross multiplication, 365 minus 364 upon 365. So it will be 1 upon 365. Simple example, little bit tricky. Okay, don't try to calculate second condition or the second event same as the first event. Okay, you have to just subtract it from 1 because the total probability will always be equal to 1 and each probability will be equal to less than 1. So let us move ahead to next problem. Each coefficient in equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, the equation is given ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Okay. Now the each coefficient means a, b and c are obtained by throwing a fair dice. Find the probability that the equation has equal roots. Now we have to, since there are 3 coefficients, we have to throw the dice 3 times, right? So let us formulate one table, but before that we will find out the sample space, the total sample space. So your sample space 6 into 6 into 6, okay, that is equal to 216. So what is your Ns? In this case Ns is equal to 216. Now what they are asked, the equation has equal roots. When the equation has equal roots, its discriminant is 0. That means discriminant is b square minus 4ac must be equal to 0. So let us now make a small table b, a, c, then b square, then 4ac and b square minus 4ac. So now let us write the possible values of b, a and c by throwing the dice, by which we will get the discriminant equal to 0. In that case, if we have this combination, only then you will get the discriminant equal to 0, because then we have b square equal to 4, 16, 16, b square minus 4ac will be equal to 0. So now what events or what is the sample space for this? The a will be equal to then 211, 414, 441, 422 and 633. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So my NA will be equal to 5. And now you can easily find a probability of this event, that is PA is equal to NA upon NS. So my probability of A will be equal to 5 upon 216. Okay. Now you have to pay attention to this table. Okay. By all the values on the dice, it is not possible that you will get 0 as discriminant. Okay. So shall we go to next problem? Now this problem is very easy. We have to prepare the frequency distribution from the information, and also we have to draw the histogram. Now let us read the problem. Among the group of students, 10% scored mark below 20, 20% scored marks between 20 to 40, 35% score marks between 40 to 60, and 20% score marks between 60 and 80, and the remaining 30 students score marks between 80 and 100. Now here first we have to find out how many students were there. That means the total number of students that we have to find out first. How we will find out that? Okay, let us see. They have given that 10%, 20%, then 35%, and then again 20%. But this is equal to 85% students only, right? And they said the remaining number of students are 30. But what is the total number of students? Percentage of total number of students can be 100. 100 means 100% means total number of students. So remaining students are 30. Students 30 equal to they are 15%, right? Now when there are 15% means 30 students, then you have to find out what is the 10%, 20%, 35% or 20%, or let us find out first what is the 100%. When the students are 100%, how many total number of students? So total number of students is 30 into 100 upon 15, that is 200. So the total number of students are 200. Now you can form a table. In one row there will be marks and number of students. This was the distribution. So you can easily find out the number of students here. The last figure they already given 30, and percentage of students in each column is given. So you can find out the number of students in each category. Can you just calculate the number of students for each class? So from this, can you draw histogram? It is very easy. Once your table is prepared, drawing histogram is nothing, right? So pause your video here and complete this problem by drawing histogram. Distribution table we have already prepared. Now the only thing remaining is drawing histogram. Just pause your video here and solve these problems. Let us solve problem number 24. Now in this also we have to first prepare the distribution table, and then we have to draw histogram and frequency polygon. Now drawing histogram and frequency polygon, once the table is ready, is very easy. What is the tricky part in this is preparing the proper table. Let us see what they are given. Again in this case marks and number of students are given. So let us say marks and students. 0 to 20, 20 to 40, 40 to 60, 60 to 80, and 80 to 100. They are given to A 56, B 2, and total number of students they have given is 100. One more information they are given in this is if A and B are equal, find their values. They say that A and B are equal, then we have to find their values. It is very easy. If total number of students are 100, then 2 plus A plus 56 plus B plus 2, that is 2 plus A plus 56 plus B plus 2 is equal to 100. So 56 plus 4 A plus B plus 60 is equal to 100 and A plus B is equal to 40, and since A and B are same, so 2A is equal to 40, so A is equal to 20, and so B is also equal to 20. So now we have found out the values of A and B. Now once the values of A and B are found out, it is very easy to draw now histogram and frequency polygon. So pause your video here and draw histogram and frequency polygon. Okay, you will have to take the number of students on y-axis and this groups on x-axis. So first draw histogram and on the same graph paper draw frequency polygon. So please pause your video here and complete this problem. Let us solve problem number 25. Now this problem is exactly similar to the previous problem. But in previous problem, A and B were given, right? But in this case, only A is given. This problem is extremely simple. Why? Because everywhere A is there. And we know that the total number of students are 70. So A plus 2A plus 3A plus A equal to, if you go on adding, that is equal to 70. So 7A is equal to 70. So A is equal to 10. So what is your table now? 10, 20, 30 and 10. Now once you have got the table, it is very easy now to draw what they are asked. Draw histogram. So now drawing histogram is very easy. We have solved a lot of problems over histogram, frequency polygon and frequency curve. So please pause your video here and complete this problem by drawing histogram. Problem number 26. Again, this is very easy problem, a little bit tricky. Okay. The Sharad bought a table and a fan together for rupees 5,000. After some time, he sold a table at a gain of 25% and a fan at a gain of 20%. Thus, he gained 23% on the whole. Find the cost of fan, or we'll find the cost of fan and table both. So what will be your first step? The first step is let table cost be X and fan cost be Y. Now what is the first condition? He bought at 5,000 rupees. So X plus Y is equal to 5,000 is our first equation what we get. Okay. Now he sold both the things. The table is sold at a gain of 25%. Now table, what is X? 25% gain. So what is the gain by selling table? On table is X into 25 by 100, that is X by 4 rupees. Now what is the gain on selling fan? Is Y into 20 upon 100, that is X upon 5. Because on fan he sold by a gain of 20%. But the total gain he has got on the whole is 23%. So what is the gain total? He bought for 5,000 rupees. So 5,000 into 23 upon 100. Got it? The gain he got on the table is X by 4 because the cost of table is X. Gain on the fan is X by 5 because cost of the fan is Y. And total gain is 5,000 into 23 by 100, that is 1150 rupees. Now by second condition, what we can write? By second condition we can write G total is equal to GF plus GT. So we can write x upon 4 plus y upon 5 is equal to 1150. This is our second equation. So now we have got two equations, x plus y is equal to 5000, x upon 4 plus y upon 5 is equal to 1150, second equation. So now we have two equations and two variables. Now it is very easy to solve. Now pause your video here and find the value of x and y by solving these two equations. Very easy. First try to eliminate this 4 and 5 and then solve simultaneously. Please pause your video and complete this problem to find the value of x and y. The y here, or the fan cost, is 2000 rupees. Now in this case I asked you to find a value of both. Obviously if fan is 2000 then table must be 3000, right? But then while solving the problem, first try to find out the value of y, because only that much is asked. Don't try or don't solve these two equations to find a value of x first and then y. Directly solve to find the value of y. So this is the answer. So shall we move to next problem? Let us go to problem number 27. This problem is of pie diagram. Very easy problem. Again, I don't think this is a Hodge problem, or you don't require any higher order thinking in this. Let us see. The information of 120 college students was collected with a view to know which vehicle they use to go to college. The data were as follows. Present the information by pie diagram. It is very easy. Let us see this. Vehicle and number of students. They sit by bus, cycle, moped, scooter and car. Car. Number of students are given 21, 64, 23, 9 and 3. Now it is very easy. You know that if you want to find out or if you want to draw the pie diagram, then first of all you have to find an angle for each sector. And what is the angle? For finding out the angle, we should know the total. The total of component is 120 here, and for each degree, for finding out the theta for each thing, what is the formula? Is component upon total component upon total component into 360. So for each sector, for example, the first theta will be 21 upon 120 into 360, 21 upon 64 upon 120 into 360, 23 upon 120 into 360, and 9 upon 120 into 360, and 3 upon 120 into 360. So now you have got all the degrees. You have to just draw the pie diagram. So pause your video here and complete this problem. Remember, whenever you are drawing the pie diagram, do not forget to give the proper degrees there, proper naming on the horizontal line, not like zigzag. Okay? We have already seen how to draw the pie diagram and how to give the naming to the pie diagram. So please pause your video here and finish this problem. Do it now, please. Again, this problem is very easy and which will test your arithmetical capability. Okay? By how much you are strong in the multiplication and division, addition, subtraction, how much you are strong in factorization. Let us see the equation. 216x x raised to 6 minus 793 x cube plus 216 0. Many students just keep this problem because x raised to 6 is there and such a long calculation is there. But mind well, this is very easy. First of all, we'll convert this into quadratic equation. So let a equal to x cube. So what will be my new equation will be equal to 216 a square minus 793 a plus 216 equal to 0. Now it is very easy to factorize. Now how will you factorize? First of all, you have to multiply 216 into 216. Very long calculation. But let us do some smart work. Okay? 216 is 8 into 27. So what will be equal to 216 into 216? Again 8 into 27. So that is equal to 8 square and 27 square, that is 64, and square of 27 is 729. Now we have got two factors and we want 793 here. So we can say the factors are minus 64 and minus 64 minus 729 is what we get, minus 793. So what will be my factors? 216a square minus 729a minus 64a plus 216 equal to 0. Very easy. Pause your video here and try to find out the answer for a first, and then we know that a is equal to x cube. So from that you will be able to find a x. So pause your video here and finish this problem. So x here are 2 by 3 and 3 by 2. Please check your answer. I hope you are able to solve this properly. So please check your answer. So shall we move ahead to next problem? Again and again I am telling you that I am not going to solve each and every problem on the board here, because we have already solved so many problems on the board, and here we are discussing the problems. If I give you spoon feeding, if I solve each and every problem stepwise, you will be in trouble in exam, right? So you have to solve something by your own. We are discussing the problems here and you will solve those problems to the final answer. Okay? Let us move ahead to next problem. 29. Now this is our favorite problem of river and boat. Okay, let us read the problem first. A man traveled by boat 36 kilometers down a river and back in 8 hours. So in the river A to B, the distance is 36 kilometers. Okay. Further they are given, okay, the time taken is 8 hours. 8 hours for to and fro journey. 8 hours is taken for to and fro journey. They say that if the speed of boat in still water is 12 kilometers per hour, boat 12 kilometers per hour, find the speed of the river current. Now let us say that speed of river is x kilometers per. Let the speed of river be x kilometers per hour. Okay. Now when the boat is traveling in the line of current, means along the current, what will be the speed? Now when the boat is moving along with the current, the speed of the boat with current will be equal to 12 plus x kilometers per hour. And when the boat is traveling against the current, means coming back, speed of the boat is against the current 12 minus x kilometers per hour. Now we know the speed of boat, we know the distance. So can we find out the time taken from A to B and then time taken from B to A? Very easy. That will be equal to 36 upon 12 plus x. Now here the time taken will be, when the boat is traveling with the current, is 36 upon 12 plus x, and against current 36 upon 12 minus x. Right? This journey will take 36 upon the time taken, and reverse journey will take 36 upon the reverse speed. But we know that the total time taken is 8 hours. So what equation we are getting now? 36 upon 12 plus x plus 36 upon 12 minus x is equal to 8. So we have found out this equation. When you solve this, you will get the value of x. How you will solve this? Cross multiplication. That is 36 into 12 minus x plus 36 into 12 plus x equal to 12 plus x into 12 minus x. Right? I am just solving the next step. The rest you have to solve. So 36 will be common here, and what I will have? 12 minus x plus 12 plus x is equal to 8 into 12 plus x, 12 minus x. So here what I will have? 36 into x will get cancelled and I will have 24, and here I will have 8 into a plus b, a minus b. So 12 square minus x square, a square minus b square. Now just calculate what is 36 into 24 equal to 8 into 144 minus x square. And when you give the simple form to this equation, that will be the simple form of quadratic equation. Rather you can just divide this, you can take this 8 to this side. If I take this side, I have 3 equal to 144 minus x square. Minus 36 is equal to minus x square. Or I will have x square is equal to 36 and x equal to plus minus 6. But speed of the river cannot be minus. So the speed of the current will be 6 kilometers per hour. Right? So please pause your video here and solve this example or these final steps properly, and then we'll move ahead to next example. The weight of the bucket is 15 kg when it is filled with water up to 3/5 of its capacity, and the weight is 19 kg if it is filled with water up to 4/5 of its capacity. Find the weight of bucket if it's completely filled with water. Now when you are lifting some bucket, there is a weight of water and weight of bucket also. So let us consider the weight of bucket be x and weight of water be y, kg and kg. Now this is the condition, this is the weight of empty bucket and this is the weight of water when that bucket is completely filled, right? Now when the water is filled only up to 3/5 of its capacity, then what will be the weight? By the first equation, the first condition we have, it is filled only 3/5 of its capacity. So the total weight will be, x will be there because the weight of the bucket will be there, plus 3/5 of its capacity, then the total weight in kg is 15 kg. And what is the second condition we have? In a second condition, when the water is filled up to 4/5 of its capacity, that means x plus 4 upon 5, the weight is 19 kg. Okay, so now we have to find out the weight of bucket if it is completely filled with water. So we have to find out the weight of bucket when it is completely filled. That will be x plus y. So we have two equations and we have two variables x and y. Just solve them and find a final answer. Pause your video here and find the value of x and y. Here answer is y is 20 and x is 3. Don't forget to write kg. So weight of water when it is full capacity is 20 kg, weight of bucket is 3 kg. So my final answer is x plus y is equal to 23 kg. Write the answer in full sentence. The weight of bucket when it is completely filled with water is 23 kg. Don't forget to write the unit. Let us move to next example. Example 31. Now here there are two amounts, x and y. First, x and y are the amounts. Okay, let us read the problem first. A person deposits rupees x in saving bank account at a rate of 5% interest and y in the fixed deposit at a rate of 10% interest per annum. At the end of first year, he gets 400 rupees as a total interest. Now, if he had deposited y in saving account and x in fixed deposit, that is, initially the x had the interest rate of 5% and this was a 10% as a first condition. In the second condition, this was deposited with the interest 10% and this was deposited with the interest 5%. Okay. Now by the first condition, he got total interest 400 rupees. And from the second condition, he got total interest. And from the second condition, he got total interest 350 rupees. It is very easy now. How much interest he got from the first condition? From the first condition, how much interest he will get? He will get x into 5 upon 100 plus y into 10 upon 100, which will be equal to 400. And secondly, he will get x into 10 upon 100 plus y into 5 upon 100. So what two equations we got? 5 upon 100 is x upon 20 plus y upon 10 is equal to 400. This is the first equation we got. And x upon 10 plus y upon 20 is equal to 350 is the second equation we got. See, whenever you write something in a proper tabular form, the problem becomes very easy. Because the problem wording is little bit complicated. Wording of the problems are always complicated. So whenever some boat or car or some examples are there, you draw the proper lines from point A to point B, just we did in last example of boat. From A to B, 36 kilometers, then 8 hours total journey. Similarly, now here deposits were x and y. The first case interest rate on x was 5%, here on 10%. So if you write this in the proper tabular form, it will be easy for you to solve the problem. Okay, now you have to just solve these two equations and find the value of x and y. So please pause your video here and solve this to find the value of x and y. Now remember, here they are not asked us individual values. Here you may find individual values, of course, but they are asked the total deposits. They are asked? Find the total amount he deposited. See, if you don't read the problem carefully, you will unnecessarily try to find x and y individual, where you can directly find the values of x plus y, because x plus y is the total deposit. So whenever you are solving these two problems, first of all, definitely you will try to eliminate this 20 and 10, and then you can find the value of x plus y. So don't find the individual values, directly try to find the value of x plus y. Here the answer is x plus y is equal to 5,000 rupees. X plus y is equal to 5,000 rupees. This is the answer. Now again the wording is tricky. A businessman bought some items for rupees 600. Keeping 10 items for himself, he sold the remaining item at a profit of rupees 5 per piece. From the amount received in this deal, he could buy 15 more items. Find the original price of each item. Definitely, original price x rupees. He bought some item for 600 rupees. That means how many items he bought? 600 upon x. Total number of items he bought 600 upon x. Now he kept 10 items from himself and he sold 600 upon x minus 10. He bought 600 by x and he sold 600 by x minus 10 items. Now he sold each for the profit of 5 rupees he took. That means what is the selling price? X plus 5. So we are interested in these two values now. Now further they say that from the amount he received. Now how much amount he received? Number of items into price per item. So the total received is equal to now from this total amount received, they say that he could have bought 15 more items. Initially, how many items he bought? Now, how many more items he could have bought? 600 upon x plus 15, right? And what is the amount of those 15? Original price into x. That means from the total amount he received, he could have bought 600 upon x plus 15 into x is equal to 600 upon x minus 10 into x plus 5. So finally we have got this equation. Again, original price of item was x, so he bought 600 upon x items. Okay, now he sold 10 items less, so this minus 10, the selling price was x plus 5 because 5 rupees was profit. So by selling, how much amount he got? He got this amount, but from this total amount received, he could have bought 15 more items. So initially he bought these many items plus 15 into original price x. So here got now this expression. Now solve this to find the value of x. Now this is sheerly arithmetical part, so I leave it to you. Please pause your video here and solve this equation to find the value of x. Please do it now. Here the x is minus 12 or 10. As you know that rupees cannot be equal to minus 12, or minus cannot be the price. So the x is, or you can say original price is 10 rupees. Don't forget to write rupees. Unit is must. Okay? Very simple. Shall we move ahead to next and the last example of the HOTS and the last example of algebra? Example number 33. Now they are given one figure, one rectangle, complete rectangle area they are given. In this area, this is the lake, this is the jungle. Okay? The dimensions, first of all we'll fix the dimensions. They are not given the complete dimensions. The total breadth of the area is 9, width of the area is 4.5. Here they are given 6, 9 and 6. So the lake is 3 here and 4.5 and 2. So we have 2.5 here. So what is the area of lake? 7.5 kilometer square. And what is the total area? 9 into 4.5, 40.5 kilometer square. So this is nothing but my NS. Let us see. The missing helicopter is reported to have crashed somewhere in the rectangle region shown in the figure. This complete rectangular region. What is the probability that it crashed inside the lake shown in the figure? What is the probability? The event is the helicopter is crashed inside the lake. So my event A is this. So what is my NA? Is 7.5 kilometer square. So now what is my probability? So my probability PA will be equal to NA upon NS, that is 7.5 upon 40.5. Quickly calculate probability. Simple arithmetics. It is 5 by 27. So don't just get afraid by the figures and all these things. Examples are always such that any students can solve that. Okay? And if the example is wrong and if you attempted that example, you will get the full marks. So don't skip any example. Examples are very simple. So here we finish the portion, the complete book for the Algebra Class 10 SSC Maharashtra Board. Thank you very much. So friends, we have learned this topic thoroughly. We have solved some examples for practice, but we are going to solve all the exercises which are given in the book along with the problem set, then the HOTS, some paper solutions, everything we are going to solve. For further solution of exercises and problem set, please purchase our DVD. You can buy our DVD online by visiting our websites. The address for the websites or the place where you can buy your DVDs are given just below this video in the description. Thank you very much.